Am I talking into this one? Okay. I was over here about 4 years ago when Lyle started working on this Prairie Arboretum, and my curiosity got the best of me, and so he kind of walked me through showing me what the plans were. And I was here several times, and I saw the native prairie grasses, and I guess the best word that I can use to describe my feeling was that I caught the spirit. And I looked at the Prairie Arboretum, and I thought, well, what can this mean? What can this mean for us, and what can it mean for me? And to me, the prairie means that it's a new frontier. And it brings me to my roots of my family and all of us, because we're all immigrants, and we all have come to the prairie. And so this way I can enjoy a new frontier experience as my forefathers did when they came to this prairie in South Dakota. And when I looked around to see what the prairie has to offer, it invites us to its nature, sunshine and rain and wind and drought. And then it draws you also to the sky. And when you look at the sky, you look heavenward, and you know that God is in control. As I was walking through this, as the years were going by, I said to Lyle, you know, Lyle, there's something that I think the Prairie Arboretum should have. It should have a gazebo. And he said, yeah. I said, go with that, Dawn. And so I thought about, okay. And I started looking at different gazebos and styles, and some of them were really quite ornate, and I brought the plans to Lyle, and it just didn't quite fit for what for how the whole layout looked. And so Lyle did some searching, and he found some Amish in Pennsylvania, and they had exactly what we wanted. And so we got the materials from the Amish, and they sent them out with instructions. And I'm glad they sent instructions, because I wouldn't have known what to do, but there's wonderful men here that have been working on this, and I believe the men that worked on the gazebo, and I hope I don't leave anyone out, Aaron Glanzer and Mark Schrag, Lyle Preheim, Todd Kerner, and Steve Graber. So I hope I haven't missed anyone. The other morning, I was walking here, and I noticed that there were some other women walking, and it was kind of chilly, and they had their hoods on their sweatshirt over their heads, and were wearing sweatshirts, and we just kind of waved at each other. I didn't know who they were, but I thought to myself, this Prairie Arboretum for me, and I'm sure for them, attends to their total being, physically because we walked the path, emotionally because I was in the gazebo and I was looking and kind of taking in all the beautiful sights and sounds about me, and it just looked like a beautiful painted picture, and also spiritually. Gazebos are like garden temples, aspiring skyward yet firmly grounded. Their open structure allows us to view nature, and yet it's enclosed enough to encourage inward reflection. And so I would like to dedicate this gazebo to the memory of my parents, Dr. and Mrs. Ernest J. Hofer. All of you know him. He was a doctor here for 55 years. This gazebo, I hope, is a shelter for you, a place to sit and reflect. When I was here the other morning, I thought of a verse in the Bible that our family uses as a prayer quite often. It comes from Psalm 25. Show me thy ways, O God. Teach me thy paths. Lead me in thy truth and teach me, for thou art the God of my salvation. Amen.
before I ask our mayor of Freeman, Mr. Jaden, to do the ribbon cutting ceremony, I want to read two pieces of poetry that are supposed to be read by Beth Kaufman, but I don't believe she's here unless she has come, but she was ill today. Is she here by any chance? I don't want to do this if she is here. I think not. I'm going to attempt to interpret this poetry, a poem by Robert Frost, and also a short excerpt from Henry David Thoreau's Walden. I would rather that Beth did the interpretation, but I will try. The Sound of Trees by Robert Frost. I wonder about the trees. Why do we wish to bear forever the noise of these more than another noise so close to our dwelling place? We suffer them by the day till we lose all measure of pace and fixity in our joys and acquire a listening air. They are that talks of going but never gets away, and that talks no less for knowing, as it grows wiser and older, that now it means to stay. My feet tug at the floor and my head sways to my shoulder, sometimes when I watch trees sway from the window or the door. I shall set forth for somewhere. I shall make the reckless choice someday when they are in voice and tossing so as to scare the white clouds over them on. I shall have less to say, but I shall be gone. And this brief passage from Thoreau's Walden, the conclusion to his book about his stay at Walden Pond. I learned this, at least, by my experiment, that if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. He will put some things behind, will pass an invisible boundary. New, universal, and more liberal laws will begin to establish themselves around and within him, or the old laws be expanded and interpreted in his favor in a more liberal sense, and he will live with the license of a higher order of beings. In proportion as he simplifies his life, the laws of the universe will appear less complex, and solitude will not be solitude, nor poverty poverty, nor weakness weakness. If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them. Mayor Jaden.